is this here? This is Jim, the Keys Bartender. I'm here with Jenna.
Hello.
It's episode 145, and I don't think my volume's up too high right now. Yes. How about you? Let's hear it.
I'm right here, episode 145.
Yes. And yours is maybe a little too high there. Let's bring that down. Welcome, everyone. It's episode 145, my fucking Valentine. I put effing because I don't know what the posting requirements is for.
Well, we still put explicit, but yeah, in the title of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really need these headphones on anymore. I just wanted to hear that we're getting anything. We are plugged in right now. We are getting sound right in here right now into our podcast. It's at mic in. I think we're good to go.
Do we have that cable hooked in that we didn't
have last time? Yes, that was it. That was the sound right here. I know. I'm like Marconi with the television. The first television things that came, I'm not saying I'm inventing something, but they had the same amount of expertise in the beginning with sound crafting. And we are a week out right now from Valentine's Day, but, you know, it starts early. The flowers start going out and all the Valentine's.
It does. I know the little flower lady's been all over town.
Mm-hmm. And, oh, man, I did have something that happened, but what we started out with was when I did my impression yesterday of a Keys resident going to North Dakota 2 weeks ago, getting off the plane, and saying, oh, boy, it's really beautiful, the snow and everything. And they're walking out into the snow, and all of a sudden, you know, they go, oh, wow, the air's really high. Oh, Jesus.
Dead. Yeah, just dead.
What happened?
They died.
The guy's dead. He just died. He just walked out and he died. No, that's the Keys. We can't handle the cold anymore, these people. I mean, I'm acclimated. How about you? You've been down here 6 years?
Yeah, 6 years. I cannot handle the cold.
I think I'm kind of a wuss when it comes to that now.
Yes.
I mean, I have memories about how cold it is and having that. So, I mean, I think they might kick in, like riding a bike.
Yes, I get flashbacks once in a while of how cold it was.
Everything I remember so cold that if you didn't need to wear a cup when you were playing football because your balls and your penis got inverted in your body when it was that cold. It just sucked right in.
Jumping in the really cold water.
It's just like a turtle pulling in there. Everything, your balls going right up into your body.
Yeah. Well, they're just trying to stay warm.
Yeah. And protect themselves. Now, as they should.
That's that's where they get the analogy of freeze your balls off.
Yes.
Right.
Well, we're going to start. I did a little research, and I knew it was St. Valentine's Day, and it was a martyr that was executed by Claudius II.
Yes.
The Roman in 2-something-67 BCE. You like BCE? Are you a BC? Yeah, it's BCE, ACE.
It was
after Common Era. CE.
Well, AD actually stands
BC
for
means
Anno
Common
Domini,
Era
right?
instead of saying after Anno Domini, after AD and BC before Christ or whatever. I'm sure it's a Latin term, and we say before Christ and stuff like that.
Right.
So. It had its roots in a Roman festival and then passed into the Catholic Church. There was a Roman god that was involved in it. But you think about it with the Catholic Church, they'd really want to distance themselves from anything that had to do with love now other than marriage because there was probably a bunch of Valentine's cards that priests sent to, some of their abuse victims and stuff like that. We don't have. I didn't post. If you see it on the thing, I have this one. The card on it I have is, I want to do things to your butt.
Yeah.
And it's kind of in 1950 style. But I think they actually sent that out. And there's real ones out there. They're weird cards. The creepy ones are a kid holding a fish. Hey, Tyler. A kid holding a fish and saying, "Oh, be my Valentine." And it's a cartoon of him holding a big ass fish. Like in between his legs. Like he's staring at the fish amorously. But you think for the Catholic Church and stuff like that, they're going to steer their way clear of the all that stuff. You know, here's a box of candy for you, lad.
Well, I was
keep
reading
your fucking mouth shut.
about the Valentine, like the martyr of, he was a priest, and that the guy who had him killed had decided that it was better for single men to be in his army. So this priest, Valentine, was doing secret marriages.
I read about
right?
that.
Yeah. And so he had him killed. But that's why they have it attached to romance, because he was, he was performing secret weddings.
So and then it continued on. It was became attached to romantic, secret weddings. I heard about that.
Secret weddings.
And they do big group weddings too. And about 30 years ago, the Moonies. You ever hear of the Moonies?
The Moonies.
The Moonies is this Christian sect from South Korea.
Oh.
Remington Sun Young Moon. And that's his name. They're called the Moonies. And they used to sell flowers they were weird. They'd come up to you with flowers and try to sell you flowers.
Those was like
You're thinking Hare Krishna.
The Hare Krishnas, right?
No, but these looked, they didn't look like the Hare Krishna. Hare Krishnas really stood out when you saw them with the robes and the thing. But the Moonies they just try to sell flowers and stuff like that. But he would pick, in the olden days, he used to pick the partners. I'm not talking about the parents, doing the prearranged marriage.
Right.
It's just they go, okay, well, there are 30 couples are going to be married, and there they are. And that's what the Moonies would do. They get I think one time he did a mass, I think it was around 1,000 people getting married at the same time.
See,
and they didn't really know each other too. And this was in the 70s and 80s.
That's crazy.
I know, it's fucking crazy.
See, there's another one that I saw that they would basically have every single female and every single male in their town back in the day, and put their names in a bin, and they would draw them out, and they would pair those couples, random couples, for at least 1 year. They had to court each other, and many of them actually ended in marriage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some of them ended in untimely deaths.
Probably.
Yeah. They used to, I understand in the colonial times and things like that when they were courting, especially in the winter, that the places were so cold that the people would, sometimes they spend time in bed with the idea that they wouldn't be doing anything fully closed.
Just to keep each other warm.
Yeah, they go into, just to keep each other, but there were big cabins and stuff like that. I can imagine shit that was going on.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward to the history of it. We could go on and on about Valentine's Day, but the first commercial cards came out in the 1700s.
Yes.
And then in the United States, the commercially printed cards came in around 1800s. I should say the first cards came out in 1700. I don't know if they were commercially printed. They could have been. I imagine they did. But in the United States, what I read in the Encyclopedia Britannica was the 1800s. And that leaves it today to stressful expectation and disappointing one of the most stressful with high expectations and disappointing holidays of the year, up there with Christmas, here's the whole breakdown of it. Now, I'm going to do the small one. There's over $2 billion in flowers sold for Valentine's Day every year in the United States.
Which is ridiculous because they just
$1.5 billion in candy, 1 billion cards. And I didn't see what the quantity, because you got those cards, you could buy the bulk cards.
Yeah.
That you give 20 kids in your classroom. Holy shit, was that is that a horrible thing to do? You got people that you're weighing in on, not only you're saying you like them, you're going to like them with affection, with real affection. And then there's kids that didn't get any.
Yeah, but don't
and
they
you got the one cute kid.
They make the Valentine's boxes. I remember that in school. Like
we used to have the bags, and you had the bags in front of your desk.
Yeah, and then but every kid, they were like, every child was basically required to make a Valentine for every other kid in class, and they would walk around and drop all their Valentines. Mine. Really?
No, you gave them to the ones you wanted to.
Shit. So you only gave them to the hot girls.
God, I was a pussy. I wasn't. I don't even remember making. I think I gave them to everyone. The guys gave them to everyone. The girls gave them to the guys they liked.
Oh.
I got a couple. I wasn't. I was never that guy until college, I think.
That's when you got all your Valentines.
Yeah, I got all my Valentines.
In college. You were
well,
saving them up.
I didn't get a lot of them, I mean. But, okay, and so the total spent without figuring in restaurant and all that stuff, they're estimating $30 billion.
For this year.
This year, $30 billion for Valentine's Day. That's quite a racket. That's about, and for the people that participate, the average is $221 per person, with men spending well above average, above that average than women do. Right. And also they figured out another total, $9 billion of that spent is given to people that did not want it. $9 billion, almost 1/3.
Wow.
So it's unrequited, let's say. Someone sends you fucking roses. I remember this guy. Oh, my God. He sent a dozen roses. He used to send a dozen roses to this hot bartender he knew. A girl, not me. and I'm looking, oh, my God. I mean, I almost took the girl out. I said, she's not going to go out with you. And one time I'm at a wedding, and he had her as a date. I said, she's way after. And she ended up going with him as she was such a nice person. She ended up going with him, but I don't know if she ever did anything with him.
So has any,
What?
Has any men sent you Valentine's flowers before?
I haven't gotten any. I don't think I got anything from, no.
No?
I have to think. I mean, I got it. Obviously, I got, not obviously. I mean, guys don't get as much. They only get from the person they're in a relationship with. And women don't kind of just do that Valentine's Day thing unless you're in a relationship. I think.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. I don't get it. I get it. I get it from people that I'm in a relationship with.
Yeah.
Women.
So your wife gets you something for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What does she usually get you?
Card.
A card. Just a lovey
maybe
card?
something like chocolates.
Is it like a naughty card or is it a lovey card?
It's a regular card, lovey card.
Lovey card.
And I never fucking understand it. You're buying. I mean, I know there's tons of comedians that say shit like this. You're going looking and you're saying, I want to look for the thing that I wanted to say to you. Well, I always look for a card, and I don't know why they don't sell them this often. Just put a heart on the front, make it nice. You put "Be My Valentine" and leave the inside blank, so you can write your own message.
Right.
And there was a guy. I guess he didn't realize, but like 8 years ago, this woman who was friends with Abby said, "Oh, this guy writes the nicest things in notes to me and stuff like that, and they're cards." And I said, "Oh, I'm looking at it. I go, oh, they look strangely familiar and stuff like that." I said, "Wait, oh, fuck." And I put it in there. And one was Shakespeare. And another was, could have been like E.E. Cummings. E.E. Cummings, wrote some really beautiful love poems. And I'm looking, all you have to do is put it in to, you put it into your browser,
right,
and it'll come out with the passage that it's from.
Yeah.
So mine, I try not to, because obviously everything's derivative,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You're going to say, unless you're like, obviously porn. There's like one comedian says, the way guys used to write during the Civil War, they used to think, "My darling, my dearest darling, the days without you are forlorn of joy and happiness. I do miss smiling upon your countenance on, dawning of every day." And then they said, nowadays you get it, guys. "Dear Doris, I sure miss your tits." And that's pretty much the poetry you get
right.
nowadays. But you can be a little more creative than that. I mean, people, I think they can be.
See, I would be the one to buy the inappropriate, funny Valentine's Day card. I'm not very sappy.
I know. Well, I mean,
so
it's still a. I mean, the cards now, the average. I was looking at cards. They're like, they start at $5, $4.
Yeah.
And if it's real nice, it has like extra things on it and shit like that.
The
it's like
multi-layers,
$8.
the 3D card.
If it plays music,
it's like $10.
$10. And you go, holy shit, what a racket. And we've gotten to that point. Instead of someone making their own card up and writing a beautiful poem, which, we gotten to the point of that parenthetical a million monkeys typing on a typewriter for a million years could write the greatest novel, that everything has been written and expressed. But I think you can probably paraphrase something that you're out of your head without going and making a reference and then going back and looking for it. And if it comes out alike, and the guy that wrote the shit from that sent to Shakespeare and E.E. Cummings one to my Abby's friend,
yeah,
he didn't know shit. He could barely talk. That guy. They used to call him his nickname. His nickname. He you know why? I'll tell you why, Ken. Because before he dated her, he told him how his size.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
And so they used to call him whatever. And supposedly the woman says, I didn't think that was 9.5 inches. Looked more like 5. Like 5. And he may I said, you mean more like 9.5 centimeters. You know, you're using no, I mean, it's just like the lead with that.
Yeah.
Any guy that comes in and says, listen, you really.
Yeah, that's stupid.
The reason you want to be with me is I'm fucking huge.
Yeah, well, I'm hung.
Yeah. And then he comes up with this Shakespeare stuff. Yeah, no.
You know, what I always figured is that the guys that joke about how small they are the ones that are, well stacked. But it's the guys that brag. The
guys argue that. They argue that. And what you do is you try not to talk about it at all.
Right, exactly.
And you just be confident and do your thing.
Yeah.
Because that thing where you use the reverse thing where you're saying, well, I'm going to do it's a humble brag. Oh, I'm not. I mean, oh, yeah, that's why.
I'm just
that's
average.
why, okay. I can understand that. So, but we got up to the point, $30 billion, and that doesn't include dinners.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dinners, and then you have all sorts of things. And I have some tips, and I'm going to give the guys out there. This is the Keys Bartender advice for the lovelorn. Here we go. And it's a handy guide. The first one, send red roses only if you've had sex, or if you're for the Promise Keepers, if you spent the night together at a prayer vigil. You know what I'm saying?
The red roses have a meaning. They're supposed to mean love, right?
Yeah.
Yellow roses are
yellow
for
friendships, and white are bereavement or
white is
remembrance.
Bereavement and remembrance. And pink is what was pink? I can't remember. Pink is something else.
I don't know what that one is.
Maybe it just means
family, family love, filial love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Filial meaning family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with and this other one, guys, about stepping up their game. If you take your girlfriend all the time, is your night out for her is the Golden Corral, consistently level, Golden Corral level, then you can go up to the Olive Garden, and that would be your Valentine's thing. That's fine. That's an upstep.
Right.
Because there's no fucking chocolate and cheese fountain and stuff like that.
But if you're normally the McDonald's guy, then you can take
You could actually go to Wendy's.
Oh, you could go to Wendy's. Right?
No. Yeah, if you are McDonald's or Sonic.
Right.
If Sonic, then yes, you can go there. If you're Subway, you can go to McDonald's.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why I picked something. Yeah, I think Subway's bread's shitty. I don't know where to get on that thing. Now, if you're an Olive Garden person,
right,
you move up to Outback Steakhouse. Outback.
All right.
Now, there's wiggle room there. There's Ruby Tuesdays and TGI Fridays and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But once they started introducing the $10 3-course meal, they're all pretty much like Olive Gardens now.
Right.
So you go to Outback Steakhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse or, some sushi place, Benihana, something like that.
So
now,
Outback is your normal place.
No, it's the up one. If Outback's your normal place.
Right. If Outback's your normal
place.
Then
you got Ruth Chris, Smith & Walensky's. You got to step up your game. You're going to spend minimum $250, $300. That's without ordering the nice bottle of wine or stuff like that.
Right.
So that now, if your normal place is that level, Smith & Walensky and Ruth Chris's, you're going to have to get a fucking chef to cook a meal. and you 50 shades of gray motherfucker. you better spend that money because that's the only way. You got to step it up. Everything has to be stepped up.
Right.
That's why it sucks when guys get roses for girls all the time. And I do roses for Abby. But when you're in a regular relationship, getting those roses on Valentine's Day, that's nice. I actually used to, on the rest of the year, I just make the arrangements up myself. Right. And on this time of year, I'll just go and buy them and get them arranged. And they do a nice job of it.
Yeah.
And she could tell. I'm pretty good, but I'm not that good. So here's another hint for you guys. If you are going out, you got to get cleaned up, trim your fucking Duck Dynasty beard. So, yep.
Right.
Comb your hair.
Nobody
comb
wants
your hair,
to
wash
see
your face.
Your Ruth Chris steak hanging from your facial hair.
No, but I mean, guys, I realize nowadays guys have the fucking Grizzly Adams beards and stuff like that. But you don't want to go out looking like an 18th century fur trapper or Leonardo DiCaprio in Revenant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all rough. Hey, I got Roller Rock. We are drinking tonight. We're drinking Roller Rock because Tyler and Jenna were hanging at the bar, and we were talking about how we thought that was. It is tasty.
It is pretty tasty. It's actually the first beer that I actually started to like. And I was probably like 23, 24. I was like, that's pretty good.
I'm sure that there's someone out there that's on Valentine's Day. If your girlfriend's a 19-year-old girl and you're 21, 22, and you pick up a 12-pack of Rolling Rock and a pepperoni pizza, that's may be a great night for her.
That is going to be pretty impressive, I would
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But at 19, I actually would take girls to a place called like Victoria Station. It was like a place that had. I told you about my thing. I just throw on a jacket and a tie.
Yeah.
And they give me the wine list. They had like 8 wines on it. That was the wine list back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, but when you
had Blue Nun on it.
Drinking age was 19 or not?
It was 21.
Was it 21?
Yeah, I was 18, and the girl I was out with was 17. But I told her, I said, dress up, and we dressed up, and we went out. And we didn't dress up like a prom night either. So dress up like you're interviewing for a job at a bank.
Right, yeah.
That's what I said.
Right, you dress up to
dress
look
up
like
you're looking like, dress up like you're coming from work at a bank. And I look like, I don't know what the hell. I mean, I was 18 years old wearing a tweed jacket with the little pads on the elbow.
On the elbows?
Yeah. Yeah, and a brown tie and a tan shirt.
The corduroy pants.
Corduroy pants.
Right.
Yeah. Corduroy pants.
See, I think my big sister, when she...
But I was skinny then. I didn't have the rub. I didn't have the legs rubbing together.
To start
yeah,
the fire.
No, it didn't have that.
See, I think my big sister, I think it was the drinking age was 19 when she was young, but I think that she got kind of grandfathered into it because I think it turned right about that same time.
That's weird how that happens. I did that in New Jersey too. And then last but not least, well, no, it's not last but not least, wear a clean T-shirt. And there's another hint. I say if you're going to, this one kills to say, and this is as a bartender. It kills me to say it. God's sake, if you're taking them out for Valentine's Day, sit at a table.
So
sit at a table. Don't sit at the bar.
Right.
Don't sit at the bar. Now, that kills my tips. I'm working on Valentine's Day. But I'm off on Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's right.
It's a Thursday night. We're actually going to do our shows on Tuesday because I mean that kind of.
Yeah, no, you have to do Valentine's with the wifey. Yeah. My Valentine will be setting up at the Miami Boat Show. So.
Oh really?
Well, I believe that's actually the first day of the boat show is Thursday next week. So I don't know if he's going to be around.
Oh, I hope. Well, I hope it's an enjoyable night for you. Yeah. But then you can, you know what I mean? Celebrate. It's not like Christmas. You can celebrate on Wednesday. Celebrate on Friday. You do something nice on Sunday. This is last but not least. I got to do for. If the girl doesn't know, if she doesn't know when she sees you right away your name, don't fuck her buy her anything. I know it's romantic to sending roses to someone who's not interested in you will not get her to love you.
No.
Girls. Let me say.
They will feel
there are some people out there that will jump on whoever says hello to them.
Yes, yeah.
But and they decide within the first minute whether they're going to whatever they want to do with you, they're going to decide that in that first minute. But there are women that will stay with men that do horrible things and treat them horrible and stuff like that. But they're interested in them, and their motivations are different. But if they're not motivated to learn your name or who you are or know anything about you,
don't waste
your money.
Right.
Waste it on someone that's interested in you. Even a friend that never expressed interest in it is a better shot. Even a friend.
Yeah.
I would say that. Even a friend. And that's my advice, and I'm sticking to it. At this part of the show, I want to talk about what you were going to start talking about, but I want to talk about the reviews.
Yes.
If you enjoy what you're hearing, please submit a review on iTunes, Spotify, whatever broadcasting platform. The thing that's going to really launch us is going to be in order of, it's going to be first, it will be iTunes in the order, and then Spotify. And Spotify's getting real big. They just bought this other podcasting network they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars.
Excellent.
On podcasting. So I'm on Spreaker, but Spreaker's international, and they got a lot of people in different. I want to send a shout out to our listeners. Besides Poland, Germany, Canada, we got listeners in Katsushika, Japan, and Mumbai, India. Besides Cannes, France, and in Bangladesh.
Yes.
In the capital. I guess that's the capital.
Well, we have a new listener today.
What? My
friend Roberta from work. So I helped her add the podcast.
Is she in Japan?
No, she's in Key Largo.
I thought maybe she telecommuted.
But she said if she thought we were funny, she was going to give us a great review. So hi, Roberta.
Okay, well, Roberta, if you don't think we're funny, don't give us a review at all.
Don't give us a negative one, Roberta.
Yeah. But if you like what you hear,
only positive.
You can put your name in it.
Only positive.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? It doesn't take much to be kind. It really, you don't want the karma being purposely mean. And when you put those things in to be nasty, that's like a mark. And you know how people leave shitty Yelp reviews and stuff like that when they go and mention your name in a Yelp review at a restaurant, and they go, "Don't fucking go to I can talk about the Encore now. That bartender at the Encore gym is a fucking jerk off. He won't say fucking. They won't say fucking jerk off, because if you say fucking jerk off in a critique, they're gonna know you're an asshole.
Well, you swear. The first one to swear in any review loses, because then you're putting too much emotion in it and not fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me get your volume up a little.
Am I getting too quiet again?
No. I think. Oh, maybe I made mine too high. What the hell? Mine went way up. Are you
screaming in there again?
Yes, I am. Mine is high.
Crackly.
No, but well, you know what the nice thing? Most of the times they don't go to trouble learning your name if they're going to leave you a bad review, and they'll talk. And I've always worked with a place where there was another big guy there. But it's their bartender. Gilbert's. I used to get bad reviews at Gilbert's.
I went to Walgreens today, and the lady that was working there knew who I was and knew my name, and I felt horrible because I did not recognize her. She knew where I worked.
With the lady with glasses, short hair, around late 50s? She's a sweetheart.
She's super nice. She was letting me know about her bladder problems today, so I listened. And
that's great.
Yeah, but I've never heard a female say piss so many times. Usually, if you talk to a girl,
that's her.
I'm going to say, I got to pee.
She tells me about. Well, let's not because Walgreens is very big on customer service.
Yeah.
If we give too many clues on who she is, they're going to know exactly who she is.
I know her name, and I will not say her name.
Yeah.
But
there's other places.
Only because she was wearing a name tag, but I didn't recognize her. But she was very, very sweet.
There's supermarkets I go to and in the area, and the one. Oh my God, they're good. They're good at it, but they'll tell you everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, telling you if they have a UTI.
Like,
that cranberry. That cranberry. I got to drink a lot of cranberry because I have a urinary tract infection. It hurts to piss.
But
and I'm a guy.
Females don't
I'm a
usually
guy.
say piss. Usually you would say pee.
I know.
You know,
Although,
guys piss,
the girls
pee,
that would
right?
tell you would say piss.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Yeah. I've been on.
Maybe it's because I'm from the upper Midwest, and that's
I
just, you know.
I always thought when a girl told you on a first date she had her period, that was a no-go. Like either she thought I was rapey, and she wanted to put another barrier in between our any possibilities of conjugal relationships.
Right. She's probably just putting up the wall right there to be like, if you think you're getting any of this, it's not happening.
Yeah, I become my
But
period.
because most
I'm
girls
like,
are,
so why
they
the
don't
hell?
just
You know, I'm
advertise
taking you
that.
out to a dinner and stuff like that. Not that I expected. What I'm suggesting is when you want to set up your dinner, if you know it's coming along. Let's say I made to ask you out 2 days before, and you knew it was coming.
Right.
Why go out that night?
Well, here's the thing, too. Maybe
What?
they don't get your creepy vibe until you pick them up. Maybe you drive really scary. Maybe there's something that gets them a little on the, defensive before you actually get out to go somewhere. The other thing is,
You think, wait, let me reevaluate that time when he did. Let me see. I showed up. I stay in my car out front with the car running and smoke cigarettes. Oh, I got a cigar here. Wait, there's a cigar. That's good.
Wow, there you
I'm going to light it up. Wait, maybe
Squirrel.
I'll light it up on our second episode.
Okay, perfect.
Because we got like 15 minutes left. Yeah, let me see. I would keep the lights on. I sit out there, smoke cigarettes with the lights off, psych myself up. I'd have a big box of condoms sitting on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
I'd start licking my lips a lot when they came in and stuff like that.
Get some chapstick.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
I'd open my fly.
Okay.
I wouldn't take it out. I
You'd
would just
sit
do
with
that
your
there.
legs really far apart.
Yeah,
Really comfortable.
on and stuff like that. And I don't know why they get creeped out and stuff like that.
When
And talk
you're
about how
driving-
soft the sheets on my bed were.
And when you're driving, were you constantly accidentally grazing?
No,
the leg and
that's
touching
fucking
a little
crazy.
bit? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay.
No, it's not. I do the move.
You do the move.
I do the move. I go,
The
oh my God,
short
there's someone.
Oh, the stop
short.
short.
Stop
Stop
short. Oh, yeah, Seinfeld thing. I put it right, go right, and
Right
they
for
didn't
the
say go
boob.
right on boob.
I mean, you just don't want those boobs to get damaged at any cost.
I was
so.
reaching for their head.
Oh, and their boobs are just up really
because they're
high.
shorter, and I think that was there. And
Oh,
go,
yeah.
no, I wouldn't. I think I was. I think I don't know if it was my calf. I was a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer. I'm saying not physically, but physically not.
To be
In experience-wise.
Yeah, right.
Sexually experienced. And it wasn't until high school, I started doing the dry humping and shit like that. And then college, I never even, the thing that young guys do all of a sudden. Remember I told you about the thing I'm in an exercise class and everyone in the class, all the ladies started.
Yeah.
My husband takes 30-minute showers. My son could be in there for 40 minutes.
But my son
That's
is
his meditation
meditating.
time. I said, and I go like this. He's not meditating.
right. Yeah.
And if those pipes could talk, they would say, clean them out because they're full of semen. No. No. But, so yeah, I was really inexperienced. I had, oh my God, I remember some girls coming in a room. I thought they were doing it to taunt me as a joke. And, it was a goof. They were goofing me.
Ah.
There was one girl, Lori Maislin. Her name was Maislin. And she was a curvaceous brunette. And she was kind of like a brunette version of, who was the blonde that married the old guy?
Oh.
You know what I mean? That died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicole.
Anna Nicole.
Anna Nicole Smith.
Anna Nicole. She was that kind of pretty brunette and built like her. Wow. And she'd come in and she wear a short sweatshirt. I'd be doing my homework. I was at Drexel University, and she'd walk into my dorm room, sat on my desk. I'm sitting in a chair. I'm looking up at her underboob.
At the underboob.
At the underboob. And I didn't know I had no fucking idea what to do. And then I had this girl, hippie chick come in, Robin, and she was cute too. And she wanted to do math with calculus. I was a history major. I didn't know shit about calc. I had the poets math, And then the Chinese American girl, Kathy Lee. Kathy Lee was her name. Kathy Lee. And they all lay on my bed, and I didn't know what to do. And then the Korean girl wanted me to help her tutor her and stuff like that. Once again, in physics, calculus-based physics, because she heard I got an A, but that wasn't an A in calculus-based physics. It was the regular physics for poets.
Right.
And that's when I figured out what they wanted. And I missed out on these other ones. The next year, I understood. So when I was going to fraternity,
then you were cleaning
I was in
house.
it for no. I was still the little engine that could. I think I can. And I was just starting up. So it wasn't until after college that I was really rolling along. But in my fraternity and stuff like that, I wasn't. When I hear these things about these guys with the, we had stupid songs. I didn't know we were singing it. We were singing it. There was a song called the Gangbang and stuff. I thought it was a joke because no animal. We're not animals. No one does that stuff.
Yeah.
No one. I've never seen anything like that.
Freaky.
I never saw anything like that. I never seen anybody have sex with someone that wasn't there until I was an adult, and then I'd have to go and say, "Hey, what are you doing? This person is not cognizant. They're not cognizant of what's going on.
Like they're not conscious.
They're not able to make a decision.
Oh gosh.
They're not able to make a decision. They are conscious, but their frontal, their limbic system's working. They're staying upright.
Right,
but they're blacked out. They're blacked out, and their body's going all eye to tiger, just still going. But the brain isn't. The higher part of the brain's not working on the. I'm not talking about the guy. Because if the guy's really drunk,
then that stuff's not
nothing's going on.
Right.
So he was going, you should know better. She doesn't know better. I don't know how that works into a Valentine's Day thing, but
I don't know.
But it's amazing. I think I had the perfect mix of the late bloomer thing, and then when I got older and stuff like that, then when I finally got it down, I would just, hey, what type of what do you just want to go out? Do you just want to go out for dinner? Are we friends? Or are we looking at something else going on?
Like just friends with benefits.
No, I'm trying to say, what do we do? I mean, I have gone out with girls for dinner with, there wasn't a chance or anything like that. But then the other ones, if I was going to, it weighed on when I had a limited budget. I still have a limited budget. But how much I would, forecast to spend, because I know that spending could be better. It was like strategic thinking.
Right.
Planning. If you're a businessman, you're going to do it. I'm going to have an ad campaign.
I bought you pizza.
Pizza? No. When I get a pizza, I'm just being congenial. You have a pizza. You want a beer. I'm being a good host. And come on, hang out. Let's hang out and stuff like that. That's the way when I lived in lofts, you need to go and pee?
No, I'm speaking of beer. I'm going to refill. You keep talking.
Get mine too?
Yes.
So, with, where the hell were we?
Talking about Andrew Dice Clay and I bought you pizza.
Oh, about you, yeah. But not only that, but you could be a congenial host, and when just because you do something for someone, you don't have to a quid pro quo, like what's his name? Hannibal Lecter.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll take turns, Clarice. Quid pro quo. Yeah. So, Valentine's Day.
I have to go. I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Yeah. So, I would think that, most of the time, I think a lot of times just being congenial and nice and friendly, there's a lot to be said for that. Because then it goes, oh, what a nice guy and stuff like that. But then you got to be, when you're being nice to everyone, and a girl puts out the signs, and you don't go it, they goes,
Yeah,
Tim's a great guy, but
then they might.
He could be gay.
Well,
I had a friend of mine, my best friend. He had an aunt and uncle who were kind of like his godparents, but he was from a really big family, and these godparents were kind of like his surrogate family, because when you have like 13 kids in a family, how much attention can you spend, right?
True.
So, they had no kids. So this guy was their friend. And remember, the first time they met me, the woman said, "Is Jim gay?" Like
the
that.
first time they met you?
Yeah. Maybe because I was so polite.
Oh.
I was always known as being very polite. And then people got to know me more and they called me girly man and stuff like that. And I went, and I was a bit of a bimbo. But I never really, it's not that women didn't say no to me. I didn't go.
You didn't chase
until I
after
get the
them,
set until you get a signal, and then the signal you ask, and you can always ask. There's no reason to. I mean, some girls. I guess some girls, guys think in their head some women want to be taken, but there's nothing like the self-assuredness to say, "Hey, listen, would you be interested in coming back to my house?"
And if they say,
and the confidence to come like that, and you go, "Yeah." That was my big thing when I had the loft. I told you about that. I had the loft girl says, "I would love to see your loft." I said, "Really, would you?" Would you really?
Would you?
I said, "We're going to go because I intend to come back for happy hour." And they go, "What?" And I said, "Well, happy hour lasts for 3 hours. This is the beginning of happy hour. I am a mile and a half away. Let's go home. Let's go to let's go to the loft, have a drink, and then come back." And like this, they come back, and they kind of knew what I meant when they did that. Like, and they all sounded like, "You want to come up? Do you want to come?" And then our rooms were on the second floor, and I said, "Do you want to come up to my room?" Because I had a roommate, so I don't want to.
Right. It's not like you're going to be doing it in the kitchen.
Yeah. You know,
right.
I'm not. Not that if it was my place, yes.
Yeah.
It's not actually. It's not the perfect place. There's a reason why the bedroom is where most sexual activity takes place. Yeah, if you're falling around and stuff like that, it is an excellent place. But in the kitchen, if you have a nice set of German knives, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong. You got grills, you got stove, you got an oven, you got a garbage disposal. Yeah. What do you do with something on your sink? And you accidentally impregnate the garbage disposal with it on.
That would be very unfortunate.
I know. You have to actually thrust your pelvis into there. You'd have to be somewhat prodigious to do something. I don't know where he got there for that. I'm sorry. The end of the Valentine's Day show?
The end of the
really?
Valentine's Day show?
Yeah. Oh, good. We're gonna have to talk about your thing on the next show.
Yes,
I'm not gonna.
We'll talk about it on the next show.
Yes.
So stay tuned and listen to the next one.
Yeah.
Because I have a great story today from my work.
Oh, I'm gonna hear it.
So it'll be awesome.
Well, I want to reiterate once again. Thanks to all the listeners, especially from overseas, the Florida ones, the Miami, Key Largo. Now Key West. We have some interest in Key West.
Yes. And,
we'd like to
and
do
your friends from up north in Philly.
And McGeehan's.
Yes.
McGeehan's, yes. He was Pat McGeehan's one that says, you should give Keys Bartender advice to the lovelorn. And we'll do some, I think we're going to do a little, maybe every so often we're going to do a little advice and say, this is what you could do. I gave you a little advice on how I do. But maybe on the next show, we're going to give you one thing that I used to do. And I got really, it pays to. I sound like, you ever seen the movie Magnolia with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Where he says about planting seeds and all that stuff. It's investment and all that stuff. That's really maniacal, almost psychotic planning like that. But I'm going to ask me about my theory about that next time. We're going to start with your story first.
Today.
Yeah. And folks, once again, I cannot express how important it is to send in those reviews on, please learn how to send a review in. Do it on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio.
We would so appreciate it.
We would. The more reviews we have, the more exposure we get. Yeah. And I would love to expose myself to the United States. We could expose myself to as many people as possible without getting arrested.
They could expose themselves to you without getting arrested, and maybe
you can expose
we could give them
I'll
a
expose
shout-out.
myself to you, and you can expose yourself to me.
We can give them a shout out on one of the next shows after they leave a review, and maybe they can even leave us some show ideas or some,
Yeah. Make sure you send us some. If you have any suggestions, my email is jim@keysbartender.com. How easy is that?
That's perfect.
I should get you an email address for that so you can get some too. Oh, you could just address it to Jenna right now, and then when I figure out,
Yeah.
because that
Just
took
in
me.
case
It
you
took
have something-
90% of my capabilities to get this stuff. so
Just in
I
case
would.
you don't want Jim to read your personal emails, if you want to address them.
Well, if you're going to send them to me, I'm going to read your personal emails. Well, thanks again. Say goodbye, Jenna.
Goodbye, guys.
Okay, and we'll be seeing you soon. We're going to record this next episode, but we're not going to release it right away.
All right.
We're going because I need to put stuff in. Thank
Sounds
you.
like a plan.